If you've been watching our videos so far, hopefully you remember I'm Ethan Malik, a professor at the Wharton School.
And I'm Lilach Malik, and I study interactive pedagogy, also at the Wharton School. And in this video, we're going to talk to you about using AI as a teacher, as your teaching assistant. We'll walk you through how to use and create prompts to help you make sure that learning happens in your classroom, using trusted, evidence-based pedagogical strategies to ensure that students learn.
And so this is about making your life as a teacher easier and more effective. We have tons of research on how to do good pedagogy, but almost every instructor everywhere is overwhelmed and doesn't have the time to implement things. So we're going to talk about some simple things you could do with AI to multiply your own work, increase your own productivity, and so that you can spend time doing the things you want to in classrooms that are most effective, rather than having to do busy work that isn't as effective. So let's talk about the first thing that you could use AI for, and all the prompts that we're doing here will be in the notes to the YouTube video, so you feel free to copy and paste them in to your own models. And if you haven't seen how to use prompts, you can watch our earlier videos on that.
So the first prompt we're going to try is something that is very effective, but it just takes time and is hard to do, which is develop explanations, examples, and analogies. Students learn through example and analogy, and these are really difficult for teachers to just create on the fly. So we're going to use a prompt that asks teachers, and this is a generic prompt, what concept they'd like taught, and then the AI will create examples, analogies, and an explanations, and those can be tailored to any specific learning levels of your student.
So in this case, we're pasting the prompt into ChatGPT. And as we've discussed in our previous videos, you'll see all the elements of kind of good prompting here. It provides a context that you're an experienced teacher that generates examples. It provides information. What is a little different is it actually also gives instructions. So it says to ask for information as well. So the first thing that the prompt is going to ask for is it's going to ask me about what subject I want to teach. And again, you should try this yourself. So take the prompt that you see in the show notes and just paste them right in to ChatGPT and you'll get similar results. So here we're using GPT-4 to do the work. You could also do this in GPT 3.5, and again, you should paste in the prompts to experiment with yourself. And you'll notice that the prompt that we're giving you for Bing is a little bit different because Bing is connected to the internet. It adds some additional instruction that Bing should look up the concepts that we're going to be asked to explain to get a little bit more detail. But for this example, we'll use GPT-4. And you can see it's already doing what we said, which is it's asking us what concept we want to explain. What concept should we explain?
I think let's explain the concept of scaffolding in education.
Scaffolding in education. Excellent. And next, it seems to be wanting to ask us about what audience we're aiming for. So what audience do we want this to be?
I think that we're aiming for an audience of college freshmen.
College freshmen, okay. So now we've got that stuff entered in, and it's creating a tailored explanation of scaffolding in education. I'm learning something from it as a result. And it's giving us both a bunch of examples, right? Imagine a college freshman trying to write a research paper the first time. It might be overwhelmed with the task of creating a thesis statement, finding credible sources, and formatting their citations. A professor using scaffolding could break down the process into smaller tasks, starting with a class thesis statement, then giving feedback on that, then moving on to finding sources and teaching students how to discern credibility and giving feedback on that, and gradually stepping back as the students gain more confidence and skills.
It's a pretty good explanation. And in fact, the personalization that we're doing here really helps students learn. Because we learn based on what we already know, the personalized explanation is especially helpful for students.
And then it provides these great analogies, right? Like it's like a chef teaching an apprentice to cook a complex dish. They don't start with the entire dish. They start with simple tasks like chopping vegetables, and as the apprentice becomes more skilled, they're given more complex tasks.
So analogies are really useful because they highlight different aspects of a concept. And in order to really learn, what we have to do is to take what we've learned in one situation and transfer it in a new situation. To do that, we have to understand not just the concrete example, but the underlying aspects of that example. Giving students multiple and diverse analogies and examples helps them transfer that knowledge to new situations. Another effective pedagogical strategy that teachers can use and help the AI implement are low-stakes tests. These are formative assessments that guide your teaching so that you can tweak your teaching based on your understanding of what students know. Low-stakes tests also help with retrieval practice, asking students to remember partially forgotten information, deepening their memory. We're going to demonstrate how the AI can help you create a low-stakes test using Bing in creative mode.
So to do this low-stakes testing AI assistant, we're going to do something a little different than we've done before. So the previous versions of the AIs we've shown you have all been standalone on their own websites. That isn't the only way to interact with these AI models, though. So AI is increasingly able to be integrated into other systems and tools. So soon, if not already, your copy of Microsoft Word or Google Docs will have an AI assistant with it. So in this case, we're going to use an AI assistant, which is Bing's chatbot, which is the same thing as GPT-4 in creative mode, which I'll show you in a second. And we're going to use that to read a website and create quizzes about that topic. So in this case, I'm using the Microsoft Edge browser, which is just a web browser like Chrome or Safari. You can use it on any computer. And of course, there might be other browsers you want to use, but in this case, Microsoft Edge comes with this Bing sidebar. And I'm going to open that up right here by clicking on this B. And I get the choices again about what version of Microsoft Bing I want to use. I want to select creative mode, the purple mode here, to make sure that I have the right choice underway. And now I'm going to paste in the prompt that you find below. So it's going to specifically do the things that we know a good prompt does. It is going to tell the AI what it is. You're a quiz creator of good diagnostic quizzes, tells it what it's going to do, create low stakes tests, and gives it step-by-step instructions about how to create a good multiple choice test. And I'm just going to hit enter. And now what it's going to do is read the web page. And this could be a PDF document, it could be a syllabus for my class, it could be a piece of a textbook, and it's now creating a quiz. In this case, it's creating a quiz based on the scientific method, which is what we're looking at in Wikipedia, but it could be something else. And you can see it's both creating quizzes, and it's actually going to create an answer key for us as well. So now we've created an easy low-stake test. Just like any other piece of work that you're doing with AI, you need to check it to make sure that it's good. You don't want to just hand students this and run with it. You want to make sure that you're checking the results and being very careful that they're accurate. And you can see it's even providing an answer key here. So now we've created a low-stakes test that we can start and build from to be able to test student knowledge and help their retrieval. So what's another tool that teachers could use?
Another tool that teachers could use is really to help build a syllabus using all of the pedagogical strategies that we know work, like formative assessment, retrieval practice, interleaving, and really making connections between concepts. So for that, we're going to use Chat 4.0 and ask it to help us create that syllabus.
So now again, because we're switching over to a system that's not connected to the internet, we should be extra careful about hallucinations and mistakes. So we're going to use this, but it's not going to do all the work for us. It's giving us suggestions and help for us to build upon, right? And we can give feedback to the system to make the system better as a result. If we're connected to the internet, the results might be a little bit stronger, but maybe not, right? So you have to pay attention to what you're doing while you do this. So we're going to take the prompt again. The prompt is available to you in the show notes. And in this case, again, context. You're an expert learning designer specializing in building curriculums for classes that promote direct instruction, active learning, retrieval practice, assessment, all of these things that we know are important. And remember, these prompts result in different things every time. So it may not read or pay attention to all of these things. This is a starting point for us as teachers to become better at our teaching tasks, to save us time to do better work. It is not a replacement for our expertise because it's not going to magically do all of these things. It will create a good result. And it's going to ask us a couple questions. So the first question this prompt is going to ask us is about what course we want to teach and what level our students are and how many times we're going to meet. So do you have an idea for those things, what course we're teaching and the learning level of our students?
Sure. I think we're teaching a course in psychology to college freshmen. And I think some of the topics are cognitive load theory and human memory.
So now it looks like it's working right now. So I like that it compliments us. It's very friendly. It's telling us it's an engaging course. And it takes into account how often we're meeting. And now it's building a syllabus for us, right? With some really clear ideas of how we're using these techniques of direct instruction, how we're doing active learning. So really all of the latest pedagogical techniques it's creating for us. So it's beyond just a syllabus, it's actually giving us some really great points to start building out our own teaching agenda here. And what you'll be able to do with this is actually explore this further. So this is the beginning of an interactive series of discussions with this particular AI. So you may be asking why we switched tools, why we're using Bing before and GPT-4 here. Bing in general is a very powerful tool, but also has a bit of a personality. It can be a little bit hard to work with at times. So if I'm not interested in being connected to the internet, and if I've already paid for, in this case, ChatGPT-4, I'd rather use that tool because it's a little better at long-form answers. Again, one of the reasons you want to experiment with these systems is you'll learn what's good at what, right? Maybe you'll use Bard for some things, GPT-4 for some things, Bing for other things, and other systems like Anthropic's Claude. There's lots of AI models out there, and the more you learn about them, the better they work. But again, you want to stick with these foundational models and work with these core systems to learn how they operate for you. So in this case, you can see it did some really nice job here of creating different sessions, and we could actually ask for more details. We could say, could you explain more about the connections I could make in session 2? I was thinking to expand on one of the ideas that it had in session 2. So now it's talking about all the details, and it's giving us more information about this session and about how we can teach it. And again, you want to be very careful to watch out for hallucinations, make sure you're taking everything, not too seriously, but this can be a really powerful beginning here. So, and it can even go as far as we can ask it to give me exactly what to say to the class. And it will introduce exactly that phrasing with a quote. So it's actually saying, welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be taking a deeper dive into cognitive load theory and understand its intersection with other parts of psychology. First, let's consider how cognitive load theory relates to other concepts. So you can even get help on what to say. And again, experienced teacher, you should be able to outperform the AI, but this is a good guide, a good starting point for you to do work. And these are just some examples of how you can use AI to do better work as a teacher and to be able to focus your time on the things that matter most to you and matter most to your students rather than on sort of busy work, and be able to create more customization and more results.
So in this video, we focused on pedagogical strategies that you can implement in the classroom. In the next video, we'll focus on how you can create prompts to give students as homework assignments so they are prepared for your class.